Hello there everyone and welcome back. There has been a little bit of good fortune for me the last episode. For the Klackons were foolish enough to attack my fleet, somehow diverting or avoiding the Bulrathi escort armada entirely. Attacked my fleet, got abysmally destroyed with no major casualties, just a little bit of repairs that are required. And also, the Titan that was hounding the back Eskio is now dealt with. I took some heavy losses here, but the Griffin's intact and ready for some repairs. And all that's left is a bunch of troop transports, which I seriously should have gone after, shouldn't I? Not that they're really harming anyone, that they're really a threat. I probably should have really gone after them. Nonetheless, things are looking on the upswing, as maybe we have Klackons chasing down the Meklar. I don't know what they're doing over here. And we have a bunch of Bulrathi ships that are in desperate need of an escort fleet, which is coming from the other direction. So, Bulrathi are about to take vengeance for their lost planets, their lost worlds, and their lost fleet. So, everything is looking on the positive, considering how many times I've been losing the direct offensive against the Klackons. So, I am not going to object to this. In LO3, you are again my new world, aren't you? No, you're the fully populated one. So, without a doubt, you are increasing your production. You are going to get back to building. Hell, do I want to just rush the deep core mine to save some time for me? That's probably not a terrible idea, because that is going to make a substantial difference. And it's not even 2,000 billion credits, so... Or should I say 2 trillion credits? It's like, I almost never say trillion in my entire lifetime, aside from the fact I know trillion is what's next, as far as the increments from million, billion, then trillion. So, I'm going to have to make it a note when we're talking 1,000 billion to go with trillion, just to save that little bit extra time. Completely pointless, I know, but hey, we're getting to the big numbers now. And with that said, Magnus Prime, you are still developing. I'd love to get you... Let's see, I was going to say Starbase, but we're in the process of rebuilding everything I lost, so... Would just pollution reduction? Well, we have soil enrichment, lots of food to grab, and I would love more research, because it's been made apparent, or so it seems like, with how long it is taking to get all this new tech, that I'm probably a little bit behind on my research, a little bit more than I would like. So, we're going to try to address this a little bit. Especially if they're really damn cheap there. Although, Astro University is anything but cheap. And I was planning on saving all that money for my ship production, but... I guess that's not the case now with me just spending all my money on infrastructure. The deep core mine, though, is definitely worth it for ship production. That I won't lie, but for soil enrichment and everything else, probably not so much. Anyways, money I will definitely happily take. Holo simulator, keep the infrastructure going, probably get multiple buildings. That hopefully won't take too much time, so I don't have to micromanage every step of the way with these planets. Oh, space elevators one turn away. Why the hell not grab you? Throw you in there. And do I actually need to throw that in there? It's still growing. It's pretty damn close to its full population. I guess it doesn't hurt. To help sustain an Omicron 2, let's get you out of the way. More food growth. You are max population until I can terraform you. Is it even possible? No, it's not possible to terraform you until I get a shield generator. So, that's only going to take 6 turns, so that's not a big deal. So, let's do that there. Everything's looking pretty good otherwise because you're a rich planet. Makes me want to rush that, but it's spending money to make more money. That seems silly. Especially if it's only like 2 turns anyway. And spies, we are continuing with the harassment of the Meklar. Let's see. You have just arrived, so you're going to try and steal some tech. Try and get caught up with the omnipotent Meklar as they've completed their science victory. So, now it begs the question. Where do I go with this fleet? Probably just back up and try and repair, because that outpost is going to be done by the time I get to it, so that's not an issue at all. I just gotta wait for the repairs. But Now I have a rally point for all my fleets that are on their way over, and it won't be long now. And since this Griffin's no longer needed here, I can send it on over as well. Although I was going to say consider upgrading it before they go, but once they reach that outpost, they can get upgrades there. It's just slowing down the time it'll take to reinforce. That's the only downside. Speaking of upgrading, let's do that here. 2 Eagles just been upgraded with barely any money left to spare. And now I just need a fleet to push on through this 2 pincered Klackon fleets that the Bulrathi are conveniently ignoring. And once they're crushed, I have myself a reinforcing wormhole to continue to swarm in and break through the Klackons. And it looks like we got another battleship to the massive armada that the Klackons are already fielding. But in all honesty, that's all the Klackons have, it seems, at this point. Bulrathi just showed the Klackons the door, and okay, that probably explains why I never saw him. We are now witnessing the maximum distance I can actually see with my sensor array. Ooh, the Bulrathi are bold. They're actually planning on bombing Fluvius when the armada is right next door to them. They have a lot more guts than I realized. Only difference is they're not going to capture a planet, which they could have used for defenses, maybe. So it's probably a fool's errand, but they are hopefully going to succeed in damaging, crippling a portion of this fleet, because that's ultimately what we need to do. Because have a look at this fleet. There is almost nothing at all besides that one battleship that's being rallied. And the Klackons have pretty much nothing else besides a couple star bases. Okay, there's a star fortress, 2 star fortresses, so they have a little bit of notable defense. It's just a shame I had to lose all those troop transports going to Fluvius. But I had no idea what kind of defenses were on the planet, so I had to at least bring a couple to be safe. Because I seriously doubt one would normally deal with any tanks or battle walkers. So, be able to detect stealth units, which I don't think I've ever seen, or a chance to one-shot anything. Although I haven't been seeing too many Titans so much. A couple of battleships really, so... And both of these are probably not very practical, because this is useless against the swarm of frigates the Klackons are fielding, and I haven't really seen a need for stealth units, or revealing them. Oh well, it's better safe than sorry, I guess. But most importantly, extra security. Although no one's really been spying on me, so that's not really exciting either. Now, what do we get access to? Ooh, that explains why the Klackons repaired their Titan. There's a passive effect to repair your ships. Oh, that is a must. Pleasure Dome for morale. Better computer, I like it, I like it. All this tech is amazing. What else do we have? Subspace teleporter, another blank, which actually would be kind of handy for my Titan, considering how slow it is. Doomstar, we are going for this good one. The ship repair is going to be essential for my backdooring fleet, because it's not going to get upgrades or anything anytime soon. And there's the massive armada, probably going to thoroughly crush the poor Bulrathi fleet there. I just gotta be careful. They could be tempted to come after my fleet in Pandera if I'm really unfortunate. Because I am kind of cornered. I have to go to Meklar space if I hope to avoid them. And the only alternative to keep moving from there is to declare war on the Meklar, which could be a bad thing. And also, I've been building up this fleet and neglecting to realize that I could actually use this fleet to support my efforts now that I have a jump gate. I could just fly this on over. I just need to upgrade everything, which will be the costly part. Because 5 Eagles alone are 3,000 credits. The Phoenix will need upgrades, Griffins, so I could start upgrading with the interface drive, but in theory, I could just fly this on over here. It'll take 10 turns, mind you. But it's a more direct route than using the wormholes and then traveling all the way through my empire. So that's something I should seriously consider if I really need the manpower. Who knows what the Meklar would do if I were to pull out, because it seems like they were making some aggressive plays against me, And I'm, for one, not a fan of it. Do I really want more spies? Build up infrastructure a little bit, I guess, doesn't hurt. And what just got built over here? Something had to have gotten built. I just wish there was an easy way to filter through, especially now that they stopped showing for me. Stelio's at critical levels, so thankfully that's going to correct itself next turn because of the core waste dump. That is perfectly fine. Now, what else do I need on here? Just more infrastructure, really. Space elevator, deep core mine. Gonna get all the works. Your max population, you do not need the cloning center. We'll just go with all the research stuff. And yeah, you're gonna start starving, so I'll have to move the farmers out in the next few turns. Make a mental note of that. Vulpes Prime, you're gonna continue doing more of the same. You already got a Star Fortress and everything, so I still need ships, really. Ships are good, especially ships. Oh, apparently I can adjust the queue. I'm just now realizing I can do that. Probably is worth it, maybe. Well, I'd rather have these ships come out one at a time rather than wait until the entire batch is done. That sounds a little more effective, because I'm pretty certain that's how it would work. Is if I decide to queue for 5 of them, I have to wait until 5 are all done. And that doesn't sound very productive, very effective when time is of the essence, so. Hearless Prime, you've been building up quite a fleet for me, so we're going to continue with your production. Get you some more griffins, get you some more ships. And let's see, I could pull one person off food, perfect. That is efficiency at its peak. Unless I can somehow pull that one worker off. Ooh, and speaking of which, I got myself already in our... Oh, that's an emu there. So, and our battleship's still good, but have I even upgraded the emu in a while? I don't think I have. Let's see, it has the blink drive, it has a reinforced hull. Okay, it has an interface drive, it's fully upgraded. I was worried for nothing. I just gotta make sure these are the proper weapons. Because I don't think my Klackons has modifications, do they? Oh, they actually do. So I don't know why I have these phasers here then. Probably because of the enveloping. That's probably the only reason I still have these phasers. I don't care about enveloping. So we're going to get rid of you. I don't want to make them all heavy mounts actually because this is all around. So we'll have a couple of heavy mounts on the front. Okay, where are my Klackons? And if possible, get a couple of heavy fighters to help support. Oh, one space left. Damn you. I'm just going to cheat and get rid of a point defense then. Although I could use that 1 point defense. And I don't think there's any other points defense I can grab. Klackons don't count, so that is a notable upgrade to the emu. And I can't upgrade just yet until its next turn. But you, on the other hand, well, I was going to say I could upgrade, but I'm broke. So, I should have just left you there for repairs, but there's no risk. There's no threat here, so we'll just continue with your travel time. Traveling to Mentor. Phoenix, you're in position. You're fully upgraded. Bulrathi have their defenses set up. It's still a basic military outpost, so it's not very terrifying, but they still got a fleet to defend it. Support it. Let's get a move on. Move all the ships on over. And I do not need to upgrade you. I don't think the extra armor is worth it. Because you're supposed to be avoiding combat, so you're dead regardless of how much armor you have. Hawks, everything's getting built. I just gotta be very mindful about how I'm thinning out my defenses some. Because there is still that risk. The Mech-Galar could try something sneaky. Especially with this one fleet here, but at least I could take them on if push comes to shove over here. But that is the main concern, because I'm pretty certain they were going to try something sneaky over in Elo, and when I flew my fleet over there to the jump gate, they backed off. If that's not intentions of some kind of aggression, I don't know what is. Wow, that is the most wasteful use of time for the Klackon Armada. You just condemned Fluvius 3 to more bombardments, you realize, Klackons, you idiots. In their time of desperation and peace, they've lost their sanity, I think. Because they could have crushed that and saved Fluvius 3. I'm just pointing out there, they've just made a terrible mistake. And if only I had bombs, I could crush these systems here and the damn jump gate. But as it stands now, I need bombs to destroy orbital debris. Orbital structures. Plasma torpedoes don't count, and that still irritates me. Even to this day. Even to this episode. Even 15 minutes into this episode. Breaking the fourth wall a little bit. Well. Not much I can do about it, but I am building up destroyers that do have fusion bombs, which I'm hoping is more than enough when I get a handful of them. Although I'm definitely going to need some kind of upgrade, and come to think of it, I should continue my trade with the Sakura and the Bulrathi, try and get a little bit more out of them, and hopefully help the Sakura with this invasion of another Titan. Another council meeting, that doesn't really matter. That doesn't really matter because the game's pretty much over as far as the victory condition. Okay, so that's all done. Everyone voted for themselves, no surprise, or abstained, one or the other. No surprise at all. Only the Mentor were the only ones who would vote for me, vote for someone else. But, let's see, do they need help? Yeah, they need a little bit of help there. They can chip that down. They have a formidable fleet here. It's just spread out among 3 different areas. But let's try and give them some more help. More income, at least, is probably what they would like.
Come, friend. Tell me what you want.
So, we're first going to try for the trade treaty. And it's been working well. If I remember correctly, I was getting 5 trillion credits from a trade agreement. So, giving them 1,000 or 1 trillion is not a terrible idea. How much do they have? I'm just going to have to keep in mind. Ooh, I'm not even going to have the money for a trade agreement if I give them it. So, I got to build that up some first. Is it possible to trade tech, though? So I may have to hold off a couple turns, because they're definitely not going to save up money. HyperX capacitor sounds great. What else? Electronic computer. I don't need the Achilles targeting unit. And without a doubt, they're going to want a million things. That's not going to fool anyone. Hell, they don't even need interface drive, because they're playing so defensively, I would think, with so few plants.
How's that, friend?
Ooh, I could get the HyperX capacitor, though. It's still worth it. Still not a trade in my favor, but they got more important things to deal with. And actually, the shields will help them quite a bit, too.
Far into history back, we've been friended.
There we go. Now I just gotta start saving up some credits so I can get those trade agreements going, because I think that's what's hindering my income a little bit. Because I was pretty certain I went over 2,000. And how much do I need with trade with you? A lot. 1.6 trillion, so I definitely need to save up money for a couple turns to make this worthwhile. Oh wait, this is my tech, and I got a lot of tech to give them, but they were not cooperating before, so would they seriously want to help me out? I don't need hyperdrive anymore. Planetary supercomputer sounds really nice, but I need to build it first, don't I? Or is that a one-time build? No, that's a system unique, okay. So it's not an empire-wide in comparison to the income one that I got. So I still would need to build it for each of the systems, which would be a bit of an issue with the amount of ships and infrastructure I need to build for the war efforts to come. So what else could I trade for that would be useful? Cybersecurity, I think that's passive. Ooh, that sounds amazing. Is there a way I can get that? Minus 30 reduces the risk of spy missions. Yes, please. Give it to me. Come on, give me some good news. Anything. I'll trade almost anything for that tech, because I'm investing so much in my spy efforts right now. Although the fact that it's taking forever is kind of worrying me. Ah, that's a shame. The Sakura were welcoming, but apparently that is too valuable of tech. And I don't even think they're using that tech right now for the spy efforts. If they're even spying at all, which kind of irritates me. So Yam 4, you're my main production world in the system. Get that deep core mine going and build us a couple of ships. And mental note to myself, keep saving up that money for a few turns because I'm going to need for a trade. It will definitely be worth it. There's just going to be a bit of a delay before I can make use of it. So, what do I want to do with this fleet? Probably just go to Pandora 2. I can get away with it, right? Because the Klackons are foolish if they don't go after the Bulrathi next turn, you would think. You would think, so I have a turn to kind of get by. Do I auto-resolve? I think I do. Okay, they did no damage to me. That's like the best case scenario. I was worried maybe it would snipe a frigate or something stupid like that. That's kind of what I was predicting. Cat 3, you're not you're just volcanic. I can't really get much more out of you. So just keep building what you can. Do I even need a core waste dump? No, there's still plenty of pollution tolerance left. And you're looking good here. You're just gonna need more food structures, which you built all you could, so not much more you can do on the food front. And you can support one more population before you stagnate. So you should not be at any risk of starving. And more spies. Where do we want spies to go? Anything that seems valuable. Well, I don't think I have a lot of choices for low mineral worlds. I don't even think that strategy has been working for me. Going to low mineral worlds to make it more likely that they have less security built there. See if they were skipping out some. Oh well. Let's move the fleet over. I'll choose to upgrade next few turns. I'm going to focus my money towards that trade effort. Advanced military outpost is now built. We are looking good here. What else do I have in mind with this space factory though? Because there's nothing else to do over here, is there? Besides maybe another beacon. Having another beacon doesn't hurt. Although I already got 2 here, which is a better coverage, so I'm at a loss for what to do with this damn space factory. Let's see, is there any other place I could put sensor nets? Maybe I could put it right in Meklar space. You think they would be accommodating? Oh, that's not even Meklar space. That's just a wormhole, so I'm happily going to put a beacon there. They can't say no to that. We have my emu here. Upgrades are not available because it's a wormhole or jump gate, so can't upgrade there just yet. Actually, let me take the earless. Upgrade, yeah, allow for the engine upgrades. Only 225. It's kind of worth it. I'm not gonna lie. Although it already had the interface drive, that's why. So maybe that wasn't as smart an idea as I thought. I could have held off. I was just thinking it didn't have the engine upgrade just yet, so it would help speed up the process. And they did run away. The battleship at least did survive, so they just completely ran away. And they got lucky they went towards their point. So they can actually get away next turn. Whereas for me, for some reason, I retreat towards their empire, towards the other fleets, and it doesn't work out as well for me. I don't quite understand how the retreat functionality works. Because I've been suffering bad luck with it, the few times I have been doing it. Now, let's just see how much of their fleet managed to run away, because I'm pretty certain they avoided engaging completely. So there probably was no real damage inflicted. Because with what I've been seeing with the Klackon strategy, they tend to take it really slow and spread out their frigates for a long time till they can get us around. Which is just enough time to escape. Meanwhile, over in Meklar's fast territory, what are they up to? Oh, let's see. Sakura have visited them. They grouped up everything. And victories the Sakuras. Oh, that was unexpected. They moved to the Meklar, but they chose not to engage for some reason. I don't know what the mentality was for that. Maybe so the Meklar could not warp out? That doesn't make much sense, because they moved into that system last turn, so they shouldn't have been able to retreat anyway. Destabilization failed. No surprise, got deported. But The soccer is still in good shape. We're going to continue with money efforts. Because why the hell not? Although this is a rich world, so you still should be building ships for me. Even if you're as far away from the actual conflict as you could possibly be. We still want you to build some ships for me. And you're still starving. How much more? How much would that take me over? 14, so yeah, I'm like 3 food short. There's no way to get 3 extra food, is there? Oh, weather control, I could do that. That would probably be worth doing, get more science out of it. But I'm kind of neglecting my science anyway, so we'll worry about that when I actually put more into my science efforts. Still gonna be a while, but I'd love to try. Well, with things going as well as they are, I should be able to cut back on some ship production, but I need to rush with my efforts with the Meklar too. As pointless as that probably sounds. Gazelle, you're fully populated. Your ultra poor world, there's not much value in you. So, don't know what I really want to do for you besides just, again, more infrastructure. You're not going to contribute too much in shipbuilding. Not as well as my other worlds. Fly you on over there, and actually, I have enough that I can hopefully get a trade going with the Sakra. We'll start with the trade agreement with the Sakra first. It's a little bit cheaper and a little more manageable. And I only need to give them about 800 billion, so 850 should be enough to, and that will still give me enough credits I need for a trade agreement.
A deal done.
Whether it's worth it or not remains to be seen. Well, it should. It said the trade agreement, and probably with the Bulrathi was like 5 trillion, so this should definitely pay off in 20 turns, right? So it's a good route to go. And at the very least, it will build up relations more with them there for more opportunities down the road. Even if I just make my money back through all the time. So let's see, that gave me like about an extra 100 billion, I think. I'm trying to find, let's see, diplomacy. So I'm getting 367 from that, so really in 3 turns, two turns almost, I'll get my money back from that. That sounds very much worthwhile. So now, we just gotta get our trade agreement going with the Bulrathi, and I will have to consider with the Darloks too, don't I? Actually, can I get away, do that right now with the Darloks? Because they have plenty of money already to call their own. They're just not happy with me. Let's see. Oh, deal's already in place, so I'm already doing that. Okay, so I take back what I said. I may not be getting as much from the Sakra, but I'm sure as hell not getting more from the Darloks than I am the Sakra, so I'm still going to make my money's worth. But it's a good thing I was playing ahead. It felt like I haven't even considered doing trade agreements. I know I want to get on the Darloks' good side, so maybe their spies could help against the Meklar, because they're not really going to contribute combat-wise with all my ships in the way, unless I give them an open border treaty, which could be an idea too. But in the end, I'm getting everything all established nicely. We just gotta deal with the damn Klackons, and because Bulrathi are at war with them now, I don't think peace is an option, because even if I were to consider peace with the Klackons, the Bulrathi are not going to help with the Meklar until the Klackons are dealt with. I think that much is safe to say.